This video will cover 3 items: 1. The starting point for adding content to a show, 2. The different categories of widgets in the Display5 platform, and 3. The widget list, navigation. This window is the view of the show framework. The show framework is created once a show's parameters and structure are built. With the show framework rendered, we are ready to add content to it. When the show framework is first generated, each panel has a text slide as the only item in its playlist. Here is an example. Let's preview this slide by clicking on the slide icon to see what it looks like. We can see it is a checkerboard image, which is the size of the panel. If we click on the Preview Show button, we can see the different checkerboard images for each of the panels in the show's panel layout. This text slide is inserted automatically, and is placed in the panel playlist as a placeholder, which enables the browser to render or play the show. Once one or more other slides are added to the playlist for a panel, we recommend deleting this slide. When we are in the show editing window, and we would like to add a new content slide to a panel playlist, we click on the panel we want to add a content slide to, and then we click on the Add New Slide button. A new window opens, called Add Slides and Widgets. Below the title are a number of gray rectangles, stacked one on top of the other, each having a name. Each gray box represents a category of widgets. There are currently 18 different categories, but in most cases we will see less than 18, because only a Display5 platform instance with all modules enabled would have all the different widget categories. We are now going to click on one of the categories, and briefly describe the navigation and functionality within a widget list. The first category is Text and Tables. When we click on the gray box, it opens a window to the widget list within the widget category. We will find one or more widgets listed there, one on top of the other. Across the top of the list, we see some descriptors of the high-level information or actions available to take. These are the same for every widget category, so we will only review them here. First is the name, and what's this? The name of the widget is the blue hyperlinked text. In this first widget, the name is text, and when we click on the hyperlink to understand what this widget is, a pop-up opens, which shows a rendering of the widget content type. Below the content rendering, we can read a detailed description of what the widget's capabilities are. In the bottom left corner of the widget, there is a button called Add Slide, which we can select to immediately allow us to begin to configure the widget for our panel playlist. If we do not wish to add the widget to our playlist, we simply click on the X in the top right corner, and this pop-up window will close. Let's close the pop-up window. Continuing from left to right, the next heading is Description. This is a less detailed description of the widget than what we previously saw by clicking on the hyperlink under What's This? The description makes it easy to navigate to the right widget once we are more familiar with the widgets in each category. Finally, under the Action heading, there is an Add button. Clicking on it will open up a window, which will allow us to configure the widget. By doing this, we will be adding the widget to our panel playlist. The last thing to note in this window is that there are 2 navigation buttons in the bottom right quadrant. The first is Back to Playlist, which will return us to the show framework window with the panel layout rendering and the list of panels above it, from where we can access any of the panel playlists. The second button is Back to Widget Categories, which, as the button states, will return us to the widget categories list. This concludes the video. In the next video, we will explore the different categories of widgets in the Display5 platform, and the widgets they contain.